Disney Skyliner is open. We talk Halloween Horror Night, Character Dining, and Mark finally opens up his mailbag. All this and more on today's episode of the We Like Theme Parks podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we proudly present a spectacular festival of theme park audio commentary magic, the We Like Theme Parks podcast.
Yo. Bring it back now.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Welcome, foolish mortals.
Welcome, my fellow theme parkers, to the We Like Theme Parks podcast, your go-to spot for news, opinions, and other nerdy fun happenings in and around the Disney and Universal theme parks. I'm Chris Bond, hello, and I'm joined, as always, by my fellow co-hosts, Disney and Universal insider, photographer, and travel journalist from StepsToMagic.com, and the co-host of a Universal Joint podcast, Dustin Fuhs,
Congaloosh.
and comedian, theme park nerd, and professional lighting designer, Mark Andrada.
That's a strong term for me. Oh, hello.
Hi, how's it going? What is it, professional or
Yeah, the professional
designer?
part.
Like lights is fine.
professional and designer. Yeah, the only part that's accurate is lighting.
I think the professional is you get paid for it.
Well, that doesn't make you a professional, does it?
Well,
Is that what it is? Is that
Yeah.
all it takes?
That's all it takes.
Okay, then I'll
pretty
take
legit if you got paid, I think.
it. Okay.
Yeah. You guys, did you know that? Mark is a professional lighting designer.
Yeah.
Among other things.
There are
clowning.
lighting designers who are hearing this going. They're
Oh,
very angry about that.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Well, guys, we're excited to be here in our new setup. We're here in the studio, the We Like Theme Park studio, and wow, we have microphones, our own. This is
I know,
weird.
right?
This feels weird. I like being like snuggled around one microphone with you guys. I miss your smell.
You pull your microphone closer.
I have to make noise to make it sound like we're doing it. Isn't that funny? It's not that funny, I guess, but anyway.
I don't know.
I used to breathe on the microphone and be like, and now it's like I have to whack it and it barely makes a noise. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Oh.
Science and technology are fun. All right, guys. Well, hey, Dustin, great job. Dustin has been setting this up along with Mark.
Oh, I didn't do anything. I came.
I had one job to do and I forgot to do it. And Dustin,
What was
did
your
it
job?
anyway.
What was your job?
I had to get an adapter for my mic. I have one at my house and I didn't look because my kids were.
You should have told me. I think I have one in my knapsack.
Well, Dustin, did you rent one or you bought two?
I bought two.
You bought two. So now I'm good. It'll live here forever. Whenever I bring my stuff over,
Okay.
we're golden. So welcome to the new We Like Theme Parks podcast studio.
Let's wait. Applauso.
Hey, way to go, Dustin. You did some great work. We have a soundboard with buttons on it.
I'm the only one without earphones, so I have no idea
Oh,
what
you're
just
not
happened.
hearing any of it? Oh,
well.
we have to get you some earphones. Oh, don't do that one. That's just. But you know what? Maybe as we get into the news,
Yeah.
we could do it with a little bit of magic.
I know.
Guys, Dustin, I think it's time for the news. Oh, wait, I forgot. We have our drop. Let's do the drop.
Ours is better.
Okay, here it is.
All right, so news coming from Walt Disney World, Universal Orlando. There's just a lot of stuff. We're in the last little bit of summer going into fall, and that means that the parks are getting set up for holidays. They're looking for more revenue enhancers. They're looking for ideas on how to streamline operations.
Wait,
and
they don't have enough revenue enhancers at the moment. We're kind of short on revenue enhancers with the not so scary and the dessert party and the thing and the merch, exclusive merch here for 2 weeks only. What are the new revenue enhancers, Dustin?
Well, we're looking at something as basic as, I don't know, one of the largest transportation systems that has been built in Walt Disney World to date since, I guess, the monorails.
Are you talking about the Skyliner?
And I'm talking about the Skyliner.
So how does that enhance revenue? Bridge that for me.
So the idea is that folks will book vacations at the resorts that are connected to the Skyliner, which
Right.
means Caribbean Beach, the New Riviera, Art of Animation, Pop Century, basically all these spots, and then anywhere that you're close to a hub. Epcot, all the Epcot resorts. As we're going, there's just so much more.
Right on. You know what? We have a whole special segment coming up on the Skyliner, so maybe
Yeah.
we'll put a pin in the
Sure.
Skyliner for now. But it's really cool that that's all happening, and there's a lot coming out of Disney already as cast member previews have been happening.
Yep.
And it opens. What's the date this thing opens?
It is going to be open by the time you hear this pod.
So hey, it's open. Hey! Wait,
Congratulations, everybody.
Congratulations, Skyliner.
Congratulations. Yeah.
That won't get old.
It's
That
gonna
won't
be
get
great.
old.
I wish everybody could see me looking at you guys, having no idea what just happened.
What you
know
gotta
what?
get, you don't
Go-
have an ear set?
You can go and get an adapter.
You
I
don't
have an
your-
adapter. You know what I don't have?
You don't have
Earphones.
earphones?
There's headphones out there.
No, it's fine.
All right. Hey, Dustin, what else is going on in the news that's not the Skyliner?
We're going to continue on with what we talked about last show with entertainment cuts coming left, right, and center.
Right, bummer.
Huge bummer. It's actually really disappointing to see the sheer amount of entertainment cast members that are just either getting the boot completely or they're taking the hours down to, instead of 7 days a week, 5 days a week. So far, we know just from schedules and such that we are losing in Epcot. We're going to be getting rid of the Mariachi Cobra Presents The Story of Coco.
That's so sad.
Yeah, it is. It was a really
Yeah, I liked
cool
it. Yeah.
show. I don't think that it represented well the story of Coco. I think they could have
Sure.
done so much more.
Sure,
like a
but they were
greatest
like sort
hits.
of roaming or like for roaming around, sort of mariachi-ish,
See,
right?
the
Like
puppet, the puppet was so
the puppet
cool,
was
though.
so
Puppet
cool.
was
Miguel,
cool.
what's amazing is the guy actually has the puppet strumming,
Yeah.
and it's kind of in tune with the tune, like it's the timing of it.
It's like
Yeah,
we've
very
seen that
impressive.
on America's Got Talent like 17 times.
Oh, I don't watch that show.
No, I've been watching walkthrough. Oh, what happened?
Oh, you're so happy you have this board with noises.
This is so great.
We've had the board for honestly 24 hours, so you turn it off. There's an off
Okay.
button. Nice, well done. We've had this
For
board.
sure, Chris is mad that he's not the one who gets to push
I'm-
the
It's
button.
so true.
We'll switch spots. I'll get a shot. But
All right, so
we've only
we-
had this thing for 24 hours, so it's all the preloaded sounds. So Dustin knows them really well.
Exactly. So we're losing Coco. We're also Janitor and Matsuriza go down from 7 days a week to 5 days a week. And this is disappointing on two levels. Firstly, Janitors they're okay. The frustration is that they also open the park. They're the rope drop entertainment, which makes no sense. They could do something, I don't know, cool. But they're incredibly talented. As soon as you start bringing entertainment from 7 days a week, you turn this into a theme park that you have to plan which day to be in which park. And that's what one of the entertainment cutbacks from, I think it was 2013, when they brought Fantasmic from every night to 3 days a week. And then people started to be like, oh, Disney, you're making enough money. Why aren't you putting Fantasmic every night? Why aren't you're just getting greedy at this point. So the fact that they're bringing entertainment offerings down from every day to 5 days a week, let's be honest, they could do better.
So is there actually like a blanket statement as to why this is happening? Or
It's all entertainment budget cuts.
but it's out there. They're like, oh, we can't afford this. We ain't got the money.
Uh,
We're sinking it in Rise of the Resistance. Ain't got no money for little Miguel the puppet.
So Disney will never confirm why certain things are going away, to the extent that I believe it was on the last Disney Dish with Len Testa. They have been trying to track down whether or not the puppeteers in the Muppets show are union, and whether or not there's any pushback from union positions being eliminated, and no one can tell. So it's one of those things that there's so many different avenues within entertainment at the parks.
What's the union rules? Like
I-
2 weeks?
I
They need 2 weeks
I didn't
notice?
know that there was a puppeteers union.
I think
I'm
it's
not
an
sure if there is.
entertainment.
No, I want it to be a puppeteers union. I want there to be the
I-
puppeteers of America.
That's a small meeting. For me, I think it's just a bummer because there's some really good stuff there. That Coco show is great. The Muppet show is great. It's disappointing that they're dialing it back and
Yep.
getting rid of some of it. I got to
Now,
be
are
honest.
they-
I don't know if I would be like, you know what? I'm not going to go on a Wednesday because the janitors aren't going to be there.
Sure.
Oh yeah, no, don't.
I'm
Don't.
still probably gonna
that
go,
doesn't.
though.
Yeah, that doesn't register for me at all.
No.
Yeah.
Now, are they getting rid of this though to put in something new? Do you think, or is this
No, it
is
sounds like
this
they're
just
saving
they're just
bucks.
cutting it out? Because I thought the idea was they were going to do something else with the Muppets. I thought they were going to bring the Muppets more. No.
Well, the Muppet Babies are getting a new show in, I think it's Disney Plus or
Yeah,
on
Disney
Disney
Plus.
Junior.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's another show coming. The Muppets are going to Disney Plus. So I know there's
Yes.
going to be 2 fully functional Muppet shows, but
But
this
in the
not so
parks,
much in
not
the
in the
parks.
parks.
Ooh.
I know.
This cuts real deep for
It
the
does.
Andrada family.
So we're losing that, but in Epcot, we're also gaining the Winnie the Pooh characters. So they have recently, after probably 5 years, re-entered the entertainment schedule in the UK pavilion.
So why were they exiled in the first place?
Budget cuts.
Hey, Winnie, get your honey pot. Get out of here. Budget cuts.
It's so a
Winnie
t-shirt.
Winnie the
Get-
Pooh in the UK. Isn't Winnie the Pooh Canadian?
No, he's totally UK, isn't he?
No, Winnie the Pooh, the character, was from Winnipeg. That's why it's called Winnie.
Winnie the Pooh. Yeah.
Oh,
But I
really?
know
I
that
thought Christopher Robin was like a little British kid in like the Moors in England.
I know the UK have really adopted. There we
Okay,
go.
when they had the Christopher Robin movie, you can't say I saw it, but they didn't hire like Mike Myers to play the role. They got Ewan McGregor. They got like a British guy,
Yeah, but they also got Sean Connery to be in Hunt for Red October playing a Russian submarine.
which was
captain.
super cool.
And Mike Myers played Austin Powers.
Fair. I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna get if you had to get a Canadian guy to be the Winnipeg Winnie the Pooh, who would it be?
The only one I can think of is Jim Carrey.
Ryan Reynolds.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh, Ryan
Ryan
Reynolds.
Reynolds.
I have a man crush on Ryan Reynolds.
I think we all do. It's Deadpool's fault.
Nope, not me.
It was
Really?
It was pre-Deadpool.
I just wanted to be contrary. That's all.
Oh, really? You
Yeah.
just don't want all of us to agree that we all have man crushes on Ryan Reynolds? I think, what was the movie that he killed me with? Even Van
Green
Wilder.
Lantern, yeah.
Green Lantern. Not that one. What else has happened in the news, Dustin?
There's rumors flying around, and you
Wait,
know us.
wait.
I know.
See those rumors?
There's a whole soundboard over here. You don't have to do it with your mouth
I don't
anymore.
have a, there's no flyby. Here, press another button, see if it flies. Oh, what's that? So mysterious. It's a rumor.
I have no idea what just happened. I want to reiterate the point.
That's
that
where you're supposed to hit
I
the
have no
cricket
idea
button.
what's going on.
So what's this rumor, Dustin?
So the rumor flying around is that the castle at Magic Kingdom, Cinderella's castle, is going to be painted. That's right, painted rose gold.
Like, why?
Because they can't put anything on the outsides like they used to with the birthday cake, because the castle itself is projection mapped. Because the projection mapping technology actually brings it down to, less than an inch, and all the actual maps themselves have been programmed into many, many shows, they can't just take that out and all of a sudden there's a birthday cake. No, that's not going to work. So this year, the rumor is that they're going to paint it rose gold, and kind of that will be the signifying factor of the 50th.
Well, lean in. I guess those rose gold ears did well.
That's very true.
So,
Merchandising synergy.
You know what? My wife loves rose gold, so I'm not surprised, like, on the merchandising side of things.
Yeah.
Like, if that's going to be your color. Like, when I got married, our color was aqua.
I'm surprised rose gold has held on as long as it has. It's been a few years of rose gold now.
It's true. Right. Yeah, I
It's
would
like
agree
the
with that.
iPhone comes in rose gold.
Yeah.
Like it's just rose gold, everything.
It's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised it held on.
Yeah.
I thought for sure that it would be like it would be a trend and then it would go away.
I
But
think
it's still hanging on.
700 different colors that they brought out since. Like they have the frozen teal
Yep.
aqua. They have the purple.
That purple, that sort of
my wedding color. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's delightful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
So
All right.
the next thing that's coming out that we're going to hear a little bit about, but there's going to be a lot more in the next month or so, is all the stuff coming out for the holidays, especially with regards to the candlelight processional.
Yeah, light them candles. Just getting excited about Christmas.
Excited about lighting candles.
I'm just a Christmas dude. We've talked about this.
Sure.
Anything Christmas.
There is
I'm-
for sure another T-shirt for you. I'm a Christmas dude.
I love Christmas.
We gotta get on these T-shirts.
I know, right?
T Public, where you at? Oh wait, you're a sponsor. Hey,
You're wearing a shirt right now.
I am wearing a T Public shirt. It's my Tron shirt.
It is.
We
But
can talk
it is
about
a
it
very
every time.
nice
When
shirt.
I get my Condor Man shirt, we'll talk about that a lot.
Exactly. That may happen in November.
Oh, supplies.
So it looks like we're getting a few more names coming out for the candlelight processional.
Sweet. Who?
We've known Whoopi Goldberg, Gary Sinise, Pat Sajak.
Gary
Um,
Sinise
he
and
come-
Pat Sajak.
Every year.
These are all friends
That's
of ABC,
Yeah.
the Diz World here.
Migna Wen, Lisa Ling,
Same.
Edward James Olmos.
Same. Yep.
Let's see here. Stephen Chapman.
I don't know who that is. Who's Stephen Chapman?
Just don't go to the Knights.
Who's Stephen Chapman? Who's that
It's
guy?
Tracy Chapman's brother.
Yeah. Okay.
Give me
He
one
sounds cool.
reason to say here. And the big one, which I'm a huge fan of, and it goes back to her guest appearances on The West Wing, Marlee Matlin.
Oh, she's great.
She's amazing.
She's awesome.
She's the hard of hearing deaf actress who Academy Award winning actress.
I remember her. Was she on The Apprentice?
Yes,
Yeah, that's where I remember her from. She was great. She's on the show.
amazing. So
And let's not forget NPH, right? He's gonna be-
absolutely.
He
But
runs that thing. I feel
does.
like it's his jam.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, that sounds like the news, right, Dustin? Is that the
That's
news?
it.
All right, that's the news. Why don't we take a quick break and we'll be right back with more We Like Theme Parks
Podcast.
Really? I was thought all you guys would be jumping in and then I could
I held my breath like I was going to jump in, but then I didn't do it.
hit the crickets button. That's it. We'll be right back.
We Like Theme Parks Podcast.
Hey guys, it's Todd. I'm standing here in front of the Haunted Mansion in the Magic Kingdom. I'm here with Christine, and she is going to tell us something about a hidden magic inside the Haunted Mansion. Christine.
So one of my favorite hidden things is the lovely couple painting. All throughout the Haunted Mansion there are hidden paintings. They used to be a part of the attraction as our lenticular changing photos, part of the magic there, and then they changed the photos out, and instead of getting rid of the old ones, they hid them throughout the ride. As you enter the ride, it's going to be on your left-hand side in this kind of like hidden room that you never notice. They apparently had originally bought the mansion without ever knowing anything about it. They just saw it online and said, you know what, okay, well, not online, the internet didn't exist back then, but they saw it in an article, heard about it, and just bought the house. They walk in and the first thing they saw in this mansion was a floating candelabra and in midair. And the wife got so mad at the husband. She was like, how could you buy this house? It's clearly haunted. They knew nothing about it. And
It's clearly haunted.
right. And they didn't know. And that was the first thing they saw was this floating candlestick. So that's one of my favorite photos in the front. And the photo used to be her hands moving from her shoulders up to his neck. And now it's like one of the hidden photos in there. And there is hidden photos all throughout the ride that a lot of people never noticed as well. So you can always keep an eye out for those.
Awesome. Thank you very much. So next time you're on the Haunted Mansion, keep your eyes out for the
Lovely couple.
the lovely couple. Make sure she doesn't put her hands around your neck. Thanks, guys.
And we're back. What'd you think of that, guys? And that break, we have something new from our good friend of the podcast, Todd Bovington, who is a sound dude and a very talented sound guy. And he recently went on a trip to Disney World, and
Lucky.
he got some audio for us and is bringing us some magical moments from Todd Bovington. So, Todd, that was the first one. You're going to be hearing more of those on the We Like Theme Parks podcast. And we want to say thank you to Todd for heading out on our behalf out into the parks to record some audio and give us some magic moments.
Thanks, Todd.
Thanks, Todd.
Thanks, Todd. All right, but now it's that time where we pay our bills, and it's time for some Insta shout-outs.
Brought to you by T Public.
Okay, well, the drop goes there. It says that.
T Public presents It's Your Shoutouts.
All right, it's Insta shout-out time, guys. I'll go ahead first.
Sure.
I want to introduce my new friends on Instagram at Magic Cauldron Potion Bubble. Her name's Andrea. She's a huge Harry Potter fan. Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. It's me, Billy from Ravenclaw.
Oh, you bringing back this character?
Yes.
I love this guy.
Have you heard? Professor Snape was quite angry, and he used the eyes of Newt to make a potion.
Have you heard? The bird is, in fact, the word.
My arm isn't long enough for the cricket button. There it is.
Jeez.
So, Andrea, thank you so much for listening. You know what the Andrea did, which I thought was funny? She liked every single one of our photos.
Oh, that's amazing.
We have like 98 photos.
We have a few.
We've only been doing this for like 3-4 months. So,
Amazing.
Andrea, thanks for tuning in. How about you guys?
I don't have one.
All right, that wraps up Insta Shoutouts by T Public. Thanks a lot, guys. And be sure to check out on the www.welikethemeparks.com website. There's a link to T Public if you want to grab a shirt. Go for it, grab it. You can get one of our shirts. You can get shirts that we picked, that like stuff that we like, that we nerded out on, or you can get whatever stuff you're nerding out on. Check it out. It's pretty cool. T Public. I'm wearing a Tron T Public shirt right now.
You look great. You look great.
Who do you want to shout out, Dustin?
My Insta shout out is going to one Bondo Chris Bond over on Instagram. I don't know if y'all know who this guy is, but you want to go and follow this true theme park fan. Great guy. His Instagram is filled with a lot of fun things. Looks like he's all about some basketball team. I don't know, but he really likes theme parks. So head over to Bondo Chris Bond on Instagram. I think you'll enjoy it.
I don't know this guy. Who's this guy?
I like this guy. He looks handsome. I think this guy...
Ooh, he is handsome.
He's got adorable kids, and he likes hoops, and he likes theme parks. Yeah, I'd check him out. Or not. Whatever.
That's my Insta shout out for this week.
Very cool. I'm getting some texts from my wife right now, Dustin.
Yeah.
My wife is asking if you have any eggs, because she needs an egg for her salad tomorrow.
Ooh.
This is what she's written here. She said, Does Dustin have an egg I can borrow / have? I said, "You need an egg?" ? And then she wrote 2 hands. I don't know what that means. Like, give it. Then I wrote, "Serious? Was Dustin gone to ask for an egg?"
Yeah, Dustin went to go get
This
eggs.
is definitely going to be in
This
the
got to
pod.
keep this in the podcast.
It says, "Yeah, for my salad tomorrow at work. I need a hard-boiled egg. For reals. Egg, please." And then a picture of an egg.
And then again, an egg gif. Egg emoji.
That's from
egg
my beautiful wife. And let's give an Insta shout out to my wife at Domino Bond. That's my wife, Debbie. She's beautiful.
That's also
She's
your
lovely.
dog.
That is.
It's also the name of my dog's name, but my wife took that handle, if you will. You have an egg?
You can even have 2.
We only need one.
wow.
She said one egg.
We have
Yo,
picked
listen,
up-
if you don't want that second egg, I'll take that egg.
It's all you. It's all you. All right. Well, hey, there you go, T Public. All right. So those are your Insta shout outs with T Public. Thanks, guys, for listening. And hey, remember, if you want to talk to us, you can get a shout out. Just hit us up. You can DM us. You can talk to us on our website. You can email us at ideas@welikethemeparks.com, or you can just send us a note on the Instagram. Instagram, we're always interacting on there. So all 3 of us are on there. We're weird.
Why is that weird?
Well, maybe it's not weird. I don't know.
I like
We're just-
Instagram.
I
It's
just
my
find it
social
funny
media
when
of choice.
Mark, did you know this? And then we're using the same account to have a conversation with ourselves.
It's funny, yeah. We'll talk to fans. You'll never know which one of us it is unless we're talking about like turkey legs, and
Yeah.
obviously it's me.
Chris uses a lot of emojis.
I use a lot of food emojis. That's me.
Mark's really when Mark's
I use emojis too.
yeah, it's
Food
true.
ones though.
Not food ones, face ones.
Yeah.
I don't do the.
I use
one.
face emojis.
I use food
a lot.
emojis often.
Yeah?
Often, yeah. How about you? What's your thing, Dustin?
My thing is usually if someone asks a question, I tend to answer it and then pose it back as, "That was pretty cool, huh?" That's kind of like it grows the community and keeps people interested. And
Sounds about right. So yeah. I just send food emojis. All right, cool. Well, hey, I'm really excited about this next segment because we've been talking about it for so long. We even had a drop made and we've never used it until today. It's time. It's finally Mark's big moment. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Mailbag with Mark.
You know, here's the thing. As I've been talking about Mailbag for so long, it's kind of lost its shine for me. So I'm kind of like over it and I don't really want to do it anymore.
Oh, okay, well, that's the end of Mailbag with
Could
Mark.
you imagine? No.
All these people have been sending us stuff. We're just going to be like, actually, Mark's not so keen anymore.
Okay.
We've been asking you guys to send Mark some mailbag.
we
And
actually have a couple.
we've
but
been-
we're
a
picking-
couple.
Yeah,
We have a
absolutely.
bounty. We have a bounty of them, like maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And so we're going to give one to Mark now. Mark,
I love it. This is from Mickey Shorts. Why are you laughing at me?
you're adorable.
Oh, I'm trying to shake that brand. You know what I mean?
The adorable brand?
Yeah, I'm trying to be like rough and tumble.
Yeah, you're giving me a Ryan Reynolds vibe right now. Rough and tumble, but still funny.
Is that what you're trying to tell me? You have a man crush on me?
A little bit.
Okay. This mailbag is from Mickey Shorts. Hi, Mickey Shorts.
So Mickey Shorts is the podcast.
Yes.
It's a dad and his son, and they've been listening since basically the first or second episode.
Yeah, Steve and Keaton. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Okay, so here's the email. I had a thought yesterday while driving home listening to the show. Apparently, your conversation inspires deep thought. Who knew? Smiley face. So, the criticism of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge seems to center around the idea that people don't connect with the land because it doesn't feature locations taken directly from one of the movies that we love. It's supposed to be a Star Wars land reminiscent of Star Wars that has Star Wars themes and elements, rather than just being a let's go to Tatooine. The idea is that Star Wars should have been more like the Wizarding World, where we can actually visit things we know and love from the actual movies. But one of the most popular rides in Disneyland still, to this day, almost 25 years in, is the Indiana Jones adventure, and that ride is not taken from any one of the movies. It features an attraction area reminiscent of Indiana Jones movies. The only tie between the ride and the movies is Indiana Jones himself. None of the rest of that ride, or the queue, or anything is in the movies. It's like we get to go on our own adventure with Indiana Jones. The same concept as Star Wars Land. So, why does the approach work so amazingly well for the Indiana Jones ride, and no one has bellyached about the fact that none of that ride is from the movies, but yet this is the complaint that people have about Galaxy's Edge? Discuss.
Let's discuss. I think the first thing that you got to look at is we're talking about Indiana Jones. So who's the star of the show over at Indiana Jones?
I would say short stack.
Correct. But also co-star Indiana Jones. Okay.
I thought it was Shia LaBeouf. That's just me.
I just think like when you go on the ride, you're still getting Indiana Jones.
Sure.
And the story is about Indiana Jones getting lost in this temple and you're going to find him. Meanwhile, Batuu doesn't feature any of the characters from the original lore. No, just from the big meat and potato Star Wars. So
Yeah, it's got Rey. It's got
It's got Chewbacca.
Okay, well, it's just got Chewbacca. But I don't know. I think the older fans are kind of missing all those old characters. Meanwhile, they still have Darth Vader over at the launch bay. But meanwhile, over at Temple of Doom there, you got Indy. Like that's who you're going to see.
I think the problem is twofold. I think the main problem is I'll go the smaller reason. The smaller reason is that Star Wars, I think, is more beloved than Indiana Jones.
I could agree with that. Yeah.
Right?
I agree too.
Yeah.
The other thing is the world has changed. When Indiana Jones opened, there wasn't like the hype behind Indiana Jones the ride was that it was going to be Indiana Jones the ride.
Yep.
And that was it.
Yeah.
The whole internet has happened since then.
Yep.
And now everybody's complaining about everything. You can't like anything. Nobody's allowed to like anything. You go online and everybody's complaining about something, no matter what it is. It's like when I was a kid, and this dates me, but when I was a kid, the cliche fandom was Star Trek. And everybody made fun of Star Trek nerds because they were the ones that were always nitpicky about everything and didn't like anything and were like very specific about their fandom. And it feels like everybody's a Star Trek nerd now. And it's like, it doesn't matter what you're nerdy about. Often people will find something to complain about. And I think that in and of itself is the problem. People are complaining because everybody complains and nobody just likes a thing anymore. Everybody has to complain about it. Look at what's happening with wrestling. Everybody complains about it nonstop. Look at what's happening. Even the Marvel Universe. People complain about the Marvel Universe. I think we can agree that those movies, while not every single one of them is flawless, it's pretty astounding what they did.
It's pretty awesome.
But people complain.
Yeah, and we're seeing it right now with the Skyliner.
Yeah.
We remember when it was first announced, everyone was complaining about it. There was, you're going to be in this box 20 feet in the air and there's no air conditioning. No air conditioning in Florida.
I think he's talking about me.
I think they're going to be okay. I think people are going to be fine.
Today, as we're seeing cast previews and going into the opening of this transportation system, people are going to be like, I need to post photos because how else will I get my likes? So I look at that as just looking into the current culture that we're in.
Yeah.
You're completely right. No one can like anything.
And frankly, I just prefer to like things. So, I mean, it's fun to complain about some things sometimes, but if everything you do is a complaint, there are other podcasts out there that I have listened to that are specifically about theme parks.
Yeah.
I remember listening to some of these podcasts when there were very few of these podcasts, and now there's, a universe full of them.
Yeah. Like the early 2008s.
Yes.
When it was Inside the Magic.
Inside the Magic was
WWNT,
I always enjoyed Inside the Magic, but there were a few others.
Theme Park Pass.
Sure.
Or, the Season Pass.
Yeah, that I would listen to, and I was like, man, I'm listening to these guys complain for an hour and a half about everything about the parks. Like, do you like anything? Like, I get it. Sometimes you're a little bummed out at the price of something's a little high for you, or if something's, breaks down or sure. There are sometimes, it's human nature. But if everything you're doing is complaining for an hour and a half, okay, well, I don't know. I just, as much as I wanted to listen to those podcasts, after a while, I was like, I can't listen to these anymore. You're talking about the happiest place on earth. Are you aware of that?
Have a good time already.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
with that said, I complain about a lot of stuff. So,
yeah, but
and
there's love
complained about-
there's a love in your complaint. I think there's part of you like enjoys it. You know what I mean?
just to complain.
Yeah,
A little bit.
It's different. It's different than what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a different thing.
I don't think I'm a hater because I'm
No,
really
no,
excited
no.
about Star Wars and I'm really pumped with this. I love Indiana Jones. I love just about everything. Maybe I'm just too easy to please. But then I find one thing to just grump about.
I mean,
and I
like
grump.
the thing is, it's the Millennium Falcon.
It's pretty
Say
cool.
whatever you want, but I mean, like you go in the Millennium Falcon and then you drive
here
it.
it's like I'm gonna complain. I'm like, I won't complain. Circling back to the question from the mailbag, I gotta agree with Mark here. I think he's got a really good point that the times have changed. It's really easy to make a comment and then have people on social media gang up on that comment and tell you don't know what you're talking about. For me, I feel like a big part is there's a lot more happening too. Like this is a whole land versus an area.
But the email itself focuses on the fact that you're going into an environment that is focused around
that you don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know. But with that said, it's an environment that's familiar in the, what do you want to call it? The
Well, the
iconography
color
of,
palette,
it's a temple. We've been in a temple before. It's set in the past. It's full of really cool
Snakes.
stuff. Snakes.
I always thought that the move to make it Batu was a smart move. To me, I thought that was a strategic move because if you had made it, say, Tatooine or whatever, number one, you'd be limited to Tatooine.
Well, and it's not timeless.
Exactly. And but the other thing too is that's when people are going to get super nitpicky about it and be like, well, what about this and what about this? Whereas if you make up a new land, you know who can really complain? Oh wait, everybody still.
Well,
what are you gonna do?
what's so cool about them making the land is they own the whole universe. Like
Yeah.
they own Star Wars, so they could make the land canon. And it's a part of the movies and it's a part of the world. It's really cool. So did we answer this guy's question?
I think so.
I think
We
so.
just discussed. So to wrap it up, he says he'll be going in November so he can see for himself. But since he's a huge Star Wars and Disney parks nerd, he has a feeling that he'll be the target audience and that he'll be eating it all up. He says he loves the show. Keep doing a great job. Steve and Keaton. Well, thanks, Steve and Keaton. We'd like to hear back from you after your trip in November. We'd love to hear what you think of it. So write to us at ideas@welikethemparks.com.
And that's for anyone who has a mailbag. Keep in mind, we love doing Armchair Imagineering. We love doing Retire Me, all these other things.
Or if you have a deep dive question for Dustin, I'm throwing you under the bus to do research.
You know what? I love doing research,
I know
but I
you do.
think I've got a couple more mailbags that
cool.
on future shows I think you're going to really enjoy.
Nice.
All right. Well, hey, let's move along. We got one segment down and we got another one coming right up. I think it's segment time.
Segment time, segment time, segment time.
All right, segment time. What are we talking about today? The Skyliner is here. It is open. By the time you listen to this bad boy, the Skyliner is going to be taking actual people. We've watched some cast previews and we've been getting some feedback and we're commenting based on that information right now. Dustin, what are you hearing about the initial reactions to people riding the Skyliner?
So it's basically people who posted how horrible the Skyliner was going to be when it first was announced. As I said, no air conditioning. It's going to be what happens if it's raining and all this stuff is going out the window. People are getting on. They're seeing the quality that Imagineering has really put into the construction projects, the way that the stations kind of blend in to the environments from the Epcot International Gateway to Hollywood Studios and all the extra things that they put in. But I do really want to point out the fact that the overall concept of the Skyliner hasn't been tested yet. They've done a ton of internal testing. Cast member previews are going out there. As soon as the guests get that chance to go on to this system, there's going to be a lot more kind of stress put onto it. And I don't think we'll be able to really grasp the overall, if it's going to be a failure, if it's going to be a positive thing until at least a full year later.
I have a hard time believing this is going to be a failure. This was one of those things that this was a plan put together by a bunch of people who are like transit officials.
Yeah.
Professional transit planners.
They're also not making something that's new.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing's existed in Switzerland and wherever else in Europe for a long time.
everywhere.
Yeah.
So
Well,
they're not
not everywhere.
reinventing the wheel on this thing by throwing, the hitchhiking ghosts on it. I mean, it's the same thing. I'd be surprised if this thing isn't a home run.
Yeah. So
It's just a new cool way to get around the resort.
Yeah, if nothing else, you're gonna get a great video and picture out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So it looks like for people who haven't seen the POV or seen anything from the Skyliner, just go online, do a simple YouTube, a ride along, and you'll be able to see not just the cast member interactions, but the overall way that people are actually enjoying themselves in the gondolas. I think you're not going to see the crazy crowds because it's so spread out and there's different lines. And it's basically what the monorail, honestly, should have been.
I'll throw this out there about this stuff. I was one of those guys, the big complaint I had was I'm worried about the heat.
Sure.
It opened up with the cast previews. It's a rather warm fall.
Mhm.
So you're still getting summer-ish kind of experience. The way that the speed it moves at and the way it cuts through the air creates a really nice breeze, apparently. People so far have been really comfortable
Mhm.
with the temperatures inside the boxes. What's interesting is the part where the temperatures in the boxes gets uncomfortable is when you're loading into the station, which is not a station you're going to get off at, but if you're going to that central hub station,
Yep.
which I believe is Caribbean Beach,
Yep.
and you're either going to stay and you have the opportunity to stay on and make a left to Epcot, or you're going to get off and go to Hollywood Studios, or maybe it might even be Pop and that way. I don't have the map in front of me. But if you're going to stay on, you'll note that when you're getting into the lift station, there's all these fans everywhere now. So they're clocking that this heat is an issue.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really hot inside the station for some reason, which is really interesting because you're not moving at that clip anymore. But you're still in this hot box. You aren't getting that breeze. So really interesting that's the moment where you're going to be uncomfortable is when you're parked in the station, not whizzing through the air. But with that said, if it's the breeze that is making it comfortable, what happens if there's a stoppage?
Yep.
So we'll see. Time will tell. At a glance, things look a little smooth sailing, beautiful vistas. There's a section where you go over the lake in Caribbean Beach.
Oh, gorgeous.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yep.
It's quite lovely. You see some of the interactions with the cast members. Looks a lot of fun. It's clean. I love the stations are all really unique.
Yep.
Which is really, really great.
Yep.
It looks like a positive. I think it's a win. I'm excited to go on it. I don't think, again, I think our second episode, we talked about the Skyliner.
Yeah.
I don't think it's something that I'm going to go to the parks to see. Like, gotta get down there to see the Skyliner.
Yeah. Well, some of the responses that we've seen online and people who are full out either experts or are travel agents or spend a lot of time down there as annual pass holders or locals, everyone has a different opinion. And I think that's something that is a positive for Disney because people are talking about it. They're talking about why it's a good thing, where the opportunities are to grow. And I think the big thing is they built this system to potentially have additional stations come out in the future. And I think that's something that looking forward could be a really fun armchair Imagineering. What are we going to do to grow this? And here's the thing that some have said, but a lot of people haven't really thought about. The monorails are aging. What's going to happen when the monorails are no longer functional?
There was a video last year where a door didn't close on the monorail.
Oh, that happens monthly. Yeah, the doors either open randomly or don't open. There's mechanical issues of doors falling off. There was actually just recently, we're talking about within the last day or so, there was a video of a full monorail train of guests stuck in Epcot as it was going around by Imagination. And it was just stuck there. Monorail did not move.
Is it the cars that are expensive to fix, or is it not the infrastructure, like the rail that it's on?
So the monorail itself.
That's the reason why they've never extended it, because
that's what they say.
Okay.
They said that it went from $1 million a mile or something like that. There was some outrageous amount, and then people started to realize how much Disney makes of, passes and parking and all this other stuff. And it's just like, yeah, if it costs $1 million a mile or even $1 billion, how much do they spend on the most random things? Disney is a business. If they knew that they could get more people on the monorails versus putting those boats or having buses out there, they would do it. I just think that the monorails have been kind of left out to pasture and not treated as a Disney transportation and been stuck in the category of a Disney attraction as it is in Disneyland.
Well, that was some fantastic information, Dustin and guys, about the Skyliner. I'm pumped about it. Hopefully you guys at home are pumped about it too. If you have some information, maybe something that we didn't cover here in the pod today about the Skyliner, let us know about it. If you've ridden it and you have a different opinion, maybe you hate it. Let Mark Andrada know. So many haters.
Yeah, okay, tell me about it. I'll tell you you're not very nice.
What we should do is anyone who's on the Skyliner, send us a video telling us why the Skyliner is great. And just make sure that you, say We Like Theme Parks podcast in it, and we'll put it out in our Instagram stories.
Sure, we'd like that. Yeah, you want to get a little love? Give us some love, y'all. All right, guys. Well, we got one more topic and one more segment before we wrap this thing up. And because it's still Halloween, expect a lot of Halloween fun, guys. Let's have some more segment time.
Segment time, segment time, segment time.
Okay, still in segment time, guys. It's Halloween. Dustin, tell us all about something really cool and unique that they're doing at Universal Studios.
Universal Studios Florida it's the land of Halloween. and you have Halloween Horror Nights. You have amazing actors and actresses and folks who are really taking this, experience to a whole new level. And during the 29 years that Halloween Horror Nights has been going on, one of the biggest asks from the guests is how they can spend more money. And one of the ways that they said,
Excuse me, Universal, how do I spend more money at your park?
Is that Billy from Ravenclaw again?
No.
Oh, it's a different character?
Billy's much younger.
yeah,
They
I'm in my
sound
first
identical.
year. This one had a little more bite and
Oh,
grit.
you're right. Okay, I hear the difference now.
But this one's a little softer and timid. I didn't know magic was so dangerous.
This is Billy Wiley's at Hogwarts, and then it's Billy post Hogwarts. He's grown up. He's grown up and realized that magic has no place in the world.
Listen
and
here,
he's just a
children.
janitor somewhere.
I've seen some things,
Not
children.
just, but you know what I mean.
These eyes have witnessed too much over at Ravenclaw.
all right.
Oh, brother.
How do I spend more money? Just jump in. How do I ask you the question? How do I spend more money, Dustin Fuhs?
You spend more money by doing the Scareactor Dining.
Oh.
So it looks like it happens at Universal Studios in the Classic Monsters Cafe. And the idea is that they have a buffet. I think it's safe to call it a buffet. The food looked really gross.
Buffet-ish.
Yeah.
It did not look yummy.
It did not look yummy, but I think that's what a buffet traditionally is.
So if the food isn't good,
Yeah.
why not flip it and make the food bad on purpose and make it all like gross themed? Like you're
you
eating
remember-
eyeballs and you're eating.
Do you remember when Disney tried to do the animal droppings chocolate
Yeah.
things and they pulled it quick?
Yeah, within
it did
like
not
a
last
week.
long. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What? I never heard about
At
this.
Animal Kingdom, they tried to do these like animal, just like giraffe droppings, but it's like chocolate with macadamia nut or whatever it is.
Elephant poop.
Yeah, that's what
Be
they were
like,
doing.
Oh, this is delicious.
Which is still funny because in the Canadian pavilion, I know that they've got soaps that are like funny soaps. Like they have beaver butts soap. They have
Right.
like Bigfoot and all that other stuff.
Nah,
but yeah,
Canadians are wacky. That's why they have
I
cool
know.
bathroom products.
But I mean, I don't know. I just love the idea that somebody showed up to this, took one look at those chocolates, and were like, "This is disgusting,"
Yeah.
and got mad enough to complain about it. Like, really?
I
Okay,
am not
sure.
eating emu droppings.
Well, then don't eat them.
Yeah,
you don't have to
exactly.
eat them. I'll eat them though. Not.
I
know.
wanted chocolate almonds.
Speaking of things that we wouldn't eat, the food that's actually at this character dining, you don't go there for the food.
Have you ever been at a character dining where the food was good? Be
Yes.
honest. Okay, hit me.
Cinderella's Royal Table, be our guest dinner.
Yeah.
Um,
Because I went to like Goofy's Kitchen,
Husker House.
and the food was like hot dogs and hamburgers and quesadillas. It was all pretty like
typical
sort of
American
same
fare.
American
Yep.
Standard.
family food.
Yeah.
Family food. So I would, if you're going to the Monster Cafe, I'm not expecting filet mignon. You know what
Sure,
I mean?
absolutely.
So, but
Filet
have some.
mignon.
Oh, some.
Yeah, no, I
delicious-
get it. Yeah.
Wouldn't you
Duck
appreciate some-
l'orange.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
I showed up at this monster meet and greet. I'd like some duck l'orange, please.
I went to this
Frankenstein monster.
I went to this monster meet and greet, and I had the most delicious duck l'orange. Quite the affair.
Just
We did
jumping
the
off
mash.
That, no,
It
just,
was the
just
monster
jumping off
mash.
that. Fun question.
Yeah.
We're putting it out to the guys.
Okay.
Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah.
His wife is the bride of Frankenstein.
Yes.
Is it really the bride of Frankenstein?
Or is it the
Because-
bride of Frankenstein's monster?
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you.
I
Their
literally-
relationship is very unclear.
Just so everyone knows, we're talking about a special event. It is a extra ticketed experience. You need both a Halloween Horror Nights ticket and a Scareactor Dining Experience ticket for the date that you plan to attend. It's something that you cannot just walk up to. So at the end of the day, we're talking about select evening nights, which is basically every night that Halloween Horror Nights is going on.
Right.
First seating begins at 5 o'clock, and here's the price point: $50.
Oh,
Not bad.
Yeah, that's
if
not so
you
bad.
go and buy the frequent Screamer pass, which
Right.
gets you unlimited days in with, even if something's sold out, you can still go in.
Yeah.
For $50, that's not bad.
It's a $50 buffet.
It's comparable to Disney property.
Sure.
Completely acceptable.
Yeah, not bad, not bad. We caught some stuff on it. We saw some of the performers in there. I feel like there is 2 layers of interactions.
Absolutely.
There's the actual monsters that you take the pictures with,
Like
Yep.
the Frankenstein's monster,
Yeah,
and bride
like-
of
and the killer
Frankenstein's
clown.
monster,
Yeah,
killer clown.
yeah.
One.
And you get some really good costumes and aesthetics and like
Sure.
makeup. So it's cool to take a picture. But then they have a bunch of like comedians, improvisers who are kind of dressed in other
Comedians, blah.
they look like mad scientists or whatever, and they're kind of
Well,
Yeah.
the
They're
guy that
just-
you're talking about, that's the doctor from Frankenstein.
Oh, is that who that was?
That's Dr.
That
Frankenstein?
we watched a thing
okay.
before. yeah.
Well, Dr. Frankenstein is like greeting guests and chatting people up and doing interactions with
that
them.
part's not for me. I don't
No.
care for that part.
That
The
was a
other,
little-
like
that
taking
part was a
pictures
little
with
lame.
Frankenstein, I'm
Yeah.
kind of into the
Oh, yeah.
buffet. I mean, like, yeah, it looked like a buffet, but I'm also into a buffet, generally speaking. So
And we're also
I'm down.
horror fans. I think that if you go to something like this, especially Halloween Horror Nights, and you want to take that to the next level,
yeah,
that's this.
So if you want to take it to the next level, gross out all the food. Like they had like a roast beef there. Make it like a leg.
yeah.
It's a leg.
Chris was like, that should be somebody's arm.
Yeah.
That just say it's somebody's arm.
Just say it's
It's like,
but-
yeah, like the little placard on the buffet should just say somebody's arm.
Yeah.
right? And you get a hunk of arm.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
meanwhile, it's roast beef. Like there's fun stuff you could be doing.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like the Monster Cafe is like a 50s cafe. It's like a diner.
We're shocked that the
Right?
Monsters Cafe is still there.
Yeah,
There's
fair
been
enough.
talk
If you're gonna
for
have
so
a
long
monster
that it's just not
restaurant,
good.
make it a monster restaurant. It should be in the lab of Dr. Frankenstein.
Sure.
We've kind of armchair imagineered some stuff like that. It looks like a cool for $50.
Yeah.
Not terrible.
I'm just afraid of participating. I don't like it when characters like come and talk to me. My social anxiety kicks in and I'm like, I don't know what to say to you. I know you're playing a character. Please stop talking to me. And I get nervous. I remember being in New Orleans and I was at a good luck going to New Orleans and trying to have brunch and not have a jazz band playing. I made it my mission. I was in New Orleans every Sunday for 5 months. And my goodness, I was like, I'm going to find a place that isn't playing jazz. I found this tiny little rundown crapola diner.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I sat down and as soon as I got my food, this band showed up and just started playing in the corner. I was like, this is unreal. Anyway, so I'm in this one place and this band they're roaming around the restaurant, going from table to table. And I'm looking at them and I'm thinking, do not come over here. I'm eating by myself to
Yep.
paint the picture. I'm eating by myself at a table. And if these guys
And you're
don't,
there at brunch.
I'm there at brunch. The place is packed. You know what I mean? Wall to wall people.
Yeah.
And I've got a table, just the little table for two is just me sitting there.
Yeah.
And if this band doesn't come over and park themselves right in front of my table and play directly at me,
Do you remember what they played?
oh,
Was it like a romantic song? Or
No,
was it
no,
very-
they
was it a
played
sad
like-
song? Was it lonely?
no, they played like some like
Lonely.
upbeat, like jazzy, like you know, like it was like a Louis
One
Prima tune or
Is
something.
the loneliest number.
You wish. That would have been hilarious if they had done that. But instead, they all just play, and I'm sitting there looking at them, just nodding and smiling. It's like, I'm alone. I'm alone, you scoundrels. Why did you come and do this to me?
It's like when you go to like a fancy Italian restaurant with your girlfriend or your wife, and the guy's playing the organetta, the organetto,
yeah.
and he comes over by your table and he camps out there for tips. And
Yep.
I'm just like,
Yeah, but see, you give that guy tips. You think I gave these people tips when they did that to me?
Oh,
I just
no.
looked at them and I shook my head. I'm like, no,
no,
no.
guys.
I gave you hate eyes before you came over here to not come over, and
Yep.
you decided it'd be funny to come over. So your tip was the look on my face
Do you
the
remember
entire
do you
time I was
remember
trying
what
to
you-
eat.
Do you remember what you ate?
Yes, I had a lobster eggs Benedict.
There you go. See,
yeah.
Nolans, baby.
Yeah, it was
I-
so
I-
good.
okay,
delicious.
one more time.
I'll say this much: we know what they offer at Halloween Horror Nights Scareactor Dining. What besides grossing out the food? That's what I would do. Would we want out of an experience like that? How could we plus this attraction for the good people at Universal Creative who haven't sent us any comps yet?
I would say make it a seance and make it a haunted experience. Like the whole restaurant gets haunted.
How do you eat?
Well, but like it's like a show. It's like Rainforest Cafe. Every 20 minutes, it rains in there. You know what I mean? Like that
The
kind of thing.
spirits will only awaken if you're on a full stomach.
Yes, exactly.
You have not eaten, you will not experience.
Like every half hour, some effects go off, and
It's like
somebody comes out.
So
and
it
has
is
to be
Rainforest
wrestled.
Cafe.
Rainforest
Yeah,
Cafe.
basically,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
There was a restaurant in New York. It was called Jekyll and Hyde.
Oh,
you
yes.
guys remember this? It was
Yeah.
like
I
the same
do.
kind of thing.
They wouldn't let me in.
What?
Well, I didn't want to eat there, and I just
wanted
wanted
to take a
I just
picture?
wanted to look around, and they were like, "You can
Oh.
only come in if you're eating here," and I was like, "Yeah, but I don't have a reservation, and I'm not going to eat here."
I remember me and my old girlfriend went. We're in New York. We like theater, and oh my god! And we went to like the most touristy, goofy place, Jekyll and Hyde, and we're like, I was excited.
Was it the best?
I liked it.
Was it? What happened in there? I've never been in there.
There's some cool stuff. Again, same thing. They have improvisers in there working, and it was so long ago. We're talking.
Yeah, it's gone now. It doesn't
20
exist
years ago.
now, right? Yeah.
I bet it doesn't.
Been a while.
I just remember it was like narrow and tall. So if you were on a top floor, you could see down.
Oh, cool.
And it was kind of cool. So there would be experiences you could be looking down. Somebody had a show, and there was a werewolf and a Frankenstein and whatever. I don't think they cut Universal a check because it was using all their monsters. But,
Do they have the rights to that? That's not public domain. Like Jekyll and Hyde isn't public domain.
well, it's how many years is it? 80 or 100 or how many years?
I
is
thought it was 50.
I thought it was 80.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. You're the one who would know that.
I think it's 50.
I could be wrong.
Because I know Mickey Mouse is coming up for trademark into public domain, which is why they're doing a lot more Mickey shorts with a different style of Mickey.
Smart. All right. So is that it on the
so
Scareactor
you-
Dining? Do we have anything else?
You suggest that you do the haunting, that kind of stuff, like ghosts, and
Yeah.
you go in and
Oh,
you know.
could you imagine
what,
like ghost effects flying
Yeah.
around? Yeah.
And Chris, your response was more just do better.
You
food.
want gross food.
You
no,
want gross
if
food,
you're
you
gonna
want
order,
better-
listen. If you're gonna serve that slop,
Yep.
great. Theme it.
That slop.
Theme it. Like, call it something. Call it something gross. It was like it was like a potato salad. Did not look like potato salad. It just looked like
What would you call
I
it?
don't know. I would
Mush,
call it
mushed
like
eyeballs.
dumpster gunk. Just call it dumpster gunk.
Dumpster gunk.
Right?
You know, that's what they called me in high school, bro.
Dumpster gunk. Yeah. All the girls, ooh, it's dumpster gunk.
Yo, what's up with dumpster gunk?
Yo, dumpster gunk.
He's got a nice hat.
Fly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, you can do all kinds of cool stuff, and I think, but part of the experience is getting it out of that restaurant, making it somewhere. They should have a something
like a backstage, some sort of not a backstage, soundstage.
Yeah, like build a thing.
Yeah.
And you know what you could
specific for
do?
that. Yeah.
You could do it like, I don't know. I always pictured if you went to Frankenstein's castle. Anybody who has a castle has got a dining room with a big long table.
Sure.
They all got castles. Frankenstein's got a castle. Dracula's got a castle.
Everybody's got a castle. Everyone's got a dining
Since
room.
2019, Bride of Frankenstein.
Right.
she's
Everyone's
got a castle.
right. And the ballroom, it's in a ballroom or a dining hall, should be
course.
scary and things can happen. Maybe it's just one setup and stuff happens around you, like you were suggesting. Mike.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
And they have the means to do it. So just do it. Well, here's the other thing. Before we move away from this topic.
Sure.
So it's $50. When you buy a ticket to Halloween Horror Nights, what's your window? You get in at what time? What time does the park close? Do we know?
Oh, I see
We
what I see
do.
where you're going with this.
So do you really want to cut 2 hours? There's
Well-
10 mazes.
Yep.
Unless you're in California, you have 9 mazes. And so how long are the lineups for each maze? Let's call it an hour. Do you have enough time to do all
You
the
don't
mazes?
even have
If
enough
you're gonna
time to do the mazes. Yeah, you're
Like
right.
you're gonna lose a couple of mazes, pay $50, eat terrible food to take a picture with like the Wolfman. I wouldn't do it, but if they made it a really cool experience, I'd pay way more than $50.
Well, don't spread that around. Keep it at 50.
all right, I'll pay 55. I'll throw another 5 at him.
Yeah,
So
okay.
just to answer the question, the event officially begins each evening at 6:30 p.m. But
Yeah.
the front gates typically open as early as 6. If you have a Halloween Horror Nights ticket but not daytime admission, you can wait outside the park gates, ticket in hand, by 5:45, and then you basically get that chance to possibly go in and do there's stay and scream. There's a lot of things that go into this. With Halloween Horror Nights, my thought is always you want to go online and do as much research as possible before you go to something. You're spending that kind of money, might as well get everything out of it.
What time does it close? Is it midnight?
I think it depends on the night, no?
I mean, it's Halloween. It should close at and it's Universal. It's an older crowd. Like
Yeah,
not
it
so
depends on the night.
not so scary. Probably closes at midnight. I would wager.
So
Maybe even
every
earlier.
night's different. My suggestion is always go online, check it out, because every night is going to be different.
Yeah.
But
Well, let's call it 1:00 in the morning. So it's 6 to 1 a.m. That's not a huge window.
No.
To do 10 mazes. I guess that begs another question. If you're a
gotta go
Halloween
back,
horror, like how many times do you go? Do you go twice?
You got to go twice.
so we had this conversation about this with Not So Scary
Marty,
with Marty. I look at it as it's all about your budget. If you can only go once and you're doing Halloween Horror Nights on a night that could be busy, maybe invest in the Express Pass because that'll get you into a different line. You'll be able to really explore and do as much as possible in that one night.
Yeah, I
I'm a big
guess-
fan of that anyway. The Express Pass all the time.
I think it's funny because people think that Express Pass at Universal is free, and it's like, no, that's Disney's. That's Disney's Fast Pass.
Right. Yeah.
Universal is different.
You know what? Not a lot of people use it.
No, I know. Yeah.
It's really, I remember the last time I went to Universal, I got it because
Sure.
I wanted to do 2 parks in one day.
How much was it?
Oh, it was expensive.
Like $60 to $100 depending on the day.
My
60 to 100 extra on top of your ticket.
On top of your
If I
ticket.
remember, my 1-day ticket cost me like,
120.
no, two
Because you're including the
parks express pass.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
$268 or $270
Wow.
for 1 day. We did the whole day.
But you nailed it.
Killed it.
Yeah.
Opened the park, closed the park,
Yeah.
did everything.
Right
and
on.
it rained a little bit that day. So we found we
Ooh.
didn't even have to skip.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of rides, not a lot. I know we're getting off topic here.
No.
That when you do the express, you miss parts of the queue that are fun to be a part of.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So there's some rides where
It's kind of like the single rider line sometimes.
Yeah,
You miss
like-
some fun stuff.
Like apparently right now, if you do what's it called, Smuggler's Run,
Mhm.
if you do the single line or single rider line, you're gonna miss the whole animatronic scene. You
Yep.
just go right to the
What? Really?
yeah.
Absolutely.
You just go right to the onto the ship.
Oh,
Well,
no, thank you.
Like Fast Pass line at Avatar, Flight of Passage, you don't get to go into that scene where you get to see the Avatar in water.
Yeah.
It's part of the fun.
Exactly, but you walk right past
Same
it.
thing, Forbidden Journey. Like you want to see all the cool stuff in the castle and the portraits talking and everything. No,
Right.
Not with Express. You just jump right through all that stuff.
One of the things that we didn't get to talk about on this one was my thought. So I think
So Dustin, give us your opinion on the character dining.
I want to go into a dining room and I want to see characters and characters from movies and experiences in the park that other people don't get to see.
You want exclusivity.
Absolutely. For that.
gotcha.
And I don't mind if they charge more. I want to have, and you brought it up about the food. I think if you're going for something like that, do the one entree, do the dessert, have the dessert buffet. That's great. I don't want to see, 27 different items that are just going stale because they only brought in 30 tables, but they have 30 different items. No one's going to eat that kind of
It's
food.
all messy and stuff too. I don't
Yep,
want
absolutely.
if I'm going to a buffet, I want it to be clean.
Yeah, that was the thing too. The video that we saw, they didn't have the table didn't look clean.
Yeah.
It looked like there was just food sort of spilled everywhere.
Yeah.
It wasn't a good look.
So let me ask a question and then pitch you something, Dustin.
Yeah.
So when you go to Halloween Horror Nights, are there photo ops with some of the characters from the mazes? What if a part of your dinner was you had exclusivity? You get to meet Peter Venkman. You get a killer clown. You get a this and that you wouldn't see walking around the park. Because walking around the park, you're getting all the scare zone characters, but you're not getting the characters that are in the mazes. But what if you did in this dining experience? You could take a picture with Slimer. You take a picture with the killer clown. You could take a picture with the Yeti.
Right.
Maybe that's the big ticket. Like you're going to get scared by them, but you don't get to pal up with them after. Now you do.
No, that's a great idea.
And if they created backgrounds, I'm really getting into this. Like if there was little stages, like little mini stages where it looked like you were in a part of the maze. So you could be taking a photo and stage something where the monster's attacking you or scaring you or giving you a high, whatever you wanted to do. You could customize but you can't in the maze because it's legit. It's real.
Sure.
They're scaring you and you're terrified.
Yeah.
Unless they start putting cameras in there taking pictures of you getting scared, which I don't know why they haven't done that yet. I don't know. I think that might be like a value add. If you're a fan of you want to meet all these people and get that pick, that would be a value. I don't know. What do you think?
So if we're looking at this as a add-on, as a value add, but an experience that we want to pay for and really have fun with. Yeah, seeing exclusivity is cool. Yeah, having something that's special is there. But you said it yourself. If you're spending money to be at Halloween Horror Nights, you want to be at Halloween Horror Nights. You don't want to be in this type of thing. What I want to see is more of the add-ons like they have the VIP screen tours, I think, where you go into the mazes during the day. I want to see the day guests have that opportunity to go in, and maybe Disney has dined with an Imagineer. I want to dine with Mike Aiello. I want to dine with one of the show producers. I want to have that conversation. Anyone who goes in is like, oh, I have to be media. You get to see all these really cool like media events. Put that out to the public. But Halloween Horror Nights, there's so much that goes into it. I just look at it as what we saw by way of the videos that we've seen and the research that we've done with the Scareactor Dining. Either they have succumbed to the price point, which is $50, which if you're spending $50 for an hour or 2, however long, to cover the cost of all of those characters in there. Bride of Frankenstein, Frankenstein's monster, Dr. Frankenstein, Killer Clown. That's a lot of extra money that may not be added. Like, people who are looking at the books be like, we're not making enough money off of this because the margins are so low.
I feel the other way. I feel like they're pulling him out of mazes. Like they're going to work anyway.
Well, the mazes don't start until 6:30.
Perfect.
This starts at 5.
Oh, so it's perfect. You get them on before their shift starts in their makeup and make them take pictures with everybody and while they eat terrible food in a buffet and then put them to work.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it's
so
kind of what it is.
I don't know. What do you guys think? If you have an idea about this isn't quite an armchair Imagineering, but if you had the chance to go in, spend money on a dining experience at Halloween Horror Nights, what would you do? Let us know. Ideas at welikethemeparks.com.
Yeah, and if you did it and you feel differently, if you're like, oh, no, actually, it was really amazing. Yeah, tell us about it. We want
Absolutely.
To hear about it. Cool. All right, guys. Well, I think that's it for today.
Would you
say? It was a good time. Mark, did you have fun?
Yeah.
Well,
what was that? What noise is that?
Oh, my God.
I can't hear it.
All right. Thanks so much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed the show, please rate, review. It helps us out. We like it. And if you want to make sure you don't miss out on any of the fun, just subscribe so you can have us in your ears, in your brain, 24 hours a day. You can follow us on Instagram at We Like Theme Parks, or you can email us directly at ideas@welikethemeparks.com. Now, music for the We Like Theme Parks podcast was composed and provided by Mike Treblecock. Check him out at MikeTreblecockmusic.com. That's it, folks. See you real soon. Why? Because we like you. And
we like theme parks.
Nice.
Yeah. All right.
Well done.
See you later, friends.